They were packed with screaming fans. They witnessed championships. They hosted concerts that made history. These weren't just stadiums, they were icons. But now, most of them are empty, crumbling, some torn down completely. This is the story of America's most legendary stadiums, places where sports history was made, and what happened after everyone walked away. Because these buildings didn't just disappear, they left behind questions about what we value, what we remember, and what we're willing to let go. Let's dive in. The Houston Astrodome, the eighth wonder. Let me start with the big one, the Houston Astrodome. When it opened in 1965, people literally called it the eighth wonder of the world. And honestly, it kind of was. This was the first fully domed stadium ever built. Before the Astrodome, nobody had figured out how to play baseball indoors. The construction cost $35 million back then. That's around $350 million today. Inside, it could seat over 60,000 people. And it had something most stadiums don't, air conditioning. If you've never been to Houston in summer, let me tell you, it's brutal. The heat and humidity are no joke. So bringing sports indoors with AC wasn't just innovative, it was life-changing. Oh, and here's a fun fact. The Astrodome gave us AstroTurf. They tried planting real grass inside, but it died because there wasn't enough sunlight. So they invented artificial turf instead. For decades, the Astrodome was everything to Houston. The Astros played there. The NFL's Oilers called it home. They hosted concerts, rodeos, political conventions, you name it. But by the late 1990s, things changed. Newer stadiums started popping up with retractable roofs, luxury boxes, better seating. The Astrodome suddenly felt old. The Oilers left for Tennessee. The Astros moved to a new park in 2000. And without teams playing there, the Astrodome just stopped. It officially closed in 2008. Here we are in December 2025, and it's still standing, empty, fenced off, slowly aging. It was named a Texas Historic Landmark in 2014, which saved it from demolition. But what happens next? Nobody's sure. There's a proposal called Vision Astrodome, a $400 million plan to transform it into a modern event space with food, retail, public gatherings. Some people love the idea. Others think it's a waste of money. So for now, the eighth wonder of the world sits there, frozen in time, waiting for someone to decide its fate. RFK Stadium, where Washington roared. Just 2 miles from the U.S. Capitol, there's another ghost, RFK Stadium. Opened in 1961 and renamed after Robert F. Kennedy in 1969, this place was a beast. It was one of the first true multi-purpose stadiums in America, designed for both baseball and football. And here's what made it special: movable seating sections. Massive hydraulic platforms could rotate entire sections of seats, transforming the field from football to baseball configuration in just a few hours. For the 1960s, that was the next level engineering. The cost? $24 million then, roughly $240 million today. For decades, RFK Stadium was the heart of DC sports. The Washington Redskins played there for 35 years. MLB's Senators and later the Nationals called it home. DC United made it the loudest soccer stadium in the country. It even hosted Olympic events, World Cup matches, and concerts by the Beatles and U2. For generations, RFK wasn't just a stadium, it was a landmark. But by the 2000s, it couldn't keep up. Concrete was cracking. The facilities felt outdated. One by one, teams left. DC United was the last holdout, playing its final match in 2017. RFK officially closed in 2019. As of December 2025, it's fenced off and partially torn down, surrounded by weeds and silence. Demolition started in 2024 and will take nearly 2 years to complete. What comes next? Nobody knows for sure. There's talk of a new NFL stadium, or maybe a mixed-use development. But right now, it's just a memory being slowly erased. Aloha Stadium, Hawaii's rusting heart. Now, let's fly to Hawaii. Aloha Stadium opened in 1975 and was immediately nicknamed the Metal Mecca because it was made almost entirely of steel. It looked futuristic. It could transform itself with movable sections to host football, baseball, soccer, and concerts. It seated 50,000 people and cost $37 million to build, about $216 million today. For decades, it was the heart of Hawaiian sports. The University of Hawaii Rainbow Warriors played there. The NFL Pro Bowl happened there for over 30 years. High school championships, AAA baseball, Pearl Jam played there. Michael Jackson performed there. For generations of Hawaiians, Aloha Stadium was where the community came together. But there was a problem. That steel construction that looked so cool, Hawaii's salt air destroyed it. Corrosion ate away at the structure year after year. They did major repairs in the 80s and 90s, but it was never enough. By 2019, engineers declared it unsafe for large crowds. Repairs would have cost $30 million. In 2020, the stadium closed completely. As of December 2025, it's still standing, condemned, fenced off, slowly rusting. The only thing still active? The swap meet in the parking lot, where locals sell goods every week. Demolition is scheduled to start in August 2025, a $20 million teardown that'll take about 10 months. In its place, Hawaii plans to build a brand new entertainment district with a smaller 25,000 to 35,000 seat stadium, surrounded by shops, restaurants, and housing. For now, Aloha Stadium is a steel skeleton waiting to come down. Herndon Stadium, a symbol left to rot. This one's different, and honestly, it's heartbreaking. Herndon Stadium in Atlanta was built in 1948 on land donated by the Herndon family. It was named after Alonzo Herndon, Atlanta's first black millionaire, born into slavery, who founded Atlanta Life Insurance Company. The stadium cost just $400,000 to build, about $5.3 million today, and it was the largest stadium in the Atlanta University Center. For decades, it served the community. College football, high school championships, civil rights events, concerts. Ray Charles recorded a live album there in 1959. Joe Louis fought an exhibition match in front of a sold-out crowd. And in 1996, during the Summer Olympics, the stadium was renovated to host international field hockey, bringing global attention to this historically black college campus. It even appeared in the 2006 movie We Are Marshall. But then Morris Brown College fell into financial crisis in the 2000s. Ownership of the stadium changed hands multiple times. Legal battles dragged on. By 2017, it ended up with Clark Atlanta University, and since then, it's been left to rot. The bleachers are broken, walls covered in graffiti, weeds pushing through concrete. The field that once hosted Olympic athletes is now just a symbol of urban decay. As of December 2025, its fate is uncertain. Clark Atlanta wants to demolish it as part of a $1.5 billion redevelopment focused on housing, retail, and black entrepreneurship. Others want to restore it. In 2023, soccer leaders proposed turning it into a training facility for the 2026 FIFA World Cup at a cost of $15 to $100 million. But so far, it's just talk. Herndon Stadium stands gutted and fenced off, a relic of civil rights history, Olympic glory, and black excellence, facing either erasure or rebirth. Miami Marine Stadium, the comeback story. Not all abandoned stadiums stay abandoned. Miami Marine Stadium opened in 1963 as the first purpose-built powerboat racing stadium in the U.S. But what made it famous wasn't the boats, it was the building itself. Designed by 27-year-old Cuban-American architect Hilario Candela, the stadium's roof is a 326-foot cantilevered concrete slab, suspended without columns. At the time, it was the longest cantilevered concrete roof in the world. It cost just $2 million to build, around $20.5 million today, and seated 6,566 people, with thousands more watching by boat. For decades, it hosted powerboat races, concerts, boxing matches, even appeared in an Elvis movie. Then, Hurricane Andrew hit in 1992. The city closed the stadium, fearing structural damage. Turns out the storm did far less harm than decades of neglect and salt air corrosion. The stadium sat empty for over 30 years, covered in graffiti, but structurally sound. It became a landmark for urban explorers and photographers. But now, that's changing. As of December 2025, a $60 million restoration plan is moving forward. Phase 1 is underway, and the city is searching for a private operator to bring back concerts and major events. If everything goes as planned, Miami Marine Stadium could reopen as a world-class waterfront venue, a rare happy ending in the world of abandoned stadiums, the ones that are gone forever. Some stadiums didn't get a second chance. Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan opened in 1975 with 80,000 seats and a massive air-supported roof. It hosted the Detroit Lions, Super Bowls, WrestleMania 3, where 93,000 fans watched Hulk Hogan fight Andre the Giant. But by 2002, the Lions left. The building fell silent. In 2009, it sold for just $583,000, less than 1% of what it cost to build. Why so cheap? The city was broke. The stadium was a liability. When they tried to demolish it in 2017, it refused to fall. The partial collapse went viral. Today, the site is an Amazon distribution center. No trace of the Silverdome remains. The Palace of Auburn Hills near Detroit was different. Privately funded, packed with 180 luxury suites, home to 3 Pistons championships. It closed in 2017 when the team moved downtown, demolished in 2020. Now it's a GM electric vehicle parts plant. Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego hosted the Chargers for 50 years, 3 Super Bowls, and countless memories. Demolished in 2020-2021, replaced by Snapdragon Stadium and a growing university campus. Boston Garden, legendary, loud, intimidating. The Celtics won 16 titles there. The Bruins won 5 Stanley Cups. Closed in 1995, demolished in 1998, replaced by TD Garden next door. These stadiums are gone, but the memories remain. Final thoughts. These weren't just buildings. They were where memories were made. Some fell apart quietly. Others literally refused to come down, even when demolition crews tried. But every single one shows us how quickly things we think will last forever can just disappear. So which stadium story hit you the hardest? Tell me in the comments. I genuinely want to know. If you love diving into these forgotten stadiums, smash that like button and subscribe, because what's coming next is even bigger. A dam so massive, it holds back more water than you can imagine. A structure so important that if it fails, millions of lives are at risk. And right now, engineers are racing against time to save it before disaster strikes. It's a story about impossible engineering, deadly mistakes, and a countdown nobody wants to lose. You definitely don't want to miss this one. Thanks for watching. See you there.